Hello, my friends. The time has come to cluster keywords. And to cluster keywords, there's so many possible approaches. So, of course, with what I've been doing lately, do I pay to have OpenAI API cluster keywords? Yeah, is it clustering? Group, cluster. Let's see. This can be thought of in different ways. This could be a keyword clustering project. Or this could be a keyword extraction project. Or it could be a hybrid of both, because you can cluster on the extracted keywords, right? It auto-completed something well. But let's just face it. We could just ask OpenAI to extract and cluster or whatever without us really needing to understand much except how to write an English prompt for the request. But so do I really have to pay OpenAPI? Why, if there's other ways? All right, so those other ways we need to understand a little bit of something. So what I have here is the directory where I was extracting the summaries and the descriptions. So this summary database and this description database are actually what OpenAI did write as summaries and meta descriptions of my blog content, right? So if you're wondering what these things are, these are just the kind of the primary keys of my blog post, which I've been adding to. And these little descriptions are actually OpenAI generated meta descriptions of summaries that were generated from these often long posts. So they were too long to, go directly to meta descriptions. It was so much I was paying for to have it look at the whole thing. It cost me about $30 to do 2 passes, one for the summaries, one for the meta descriptions. So I'm avoiding paying anything more because it's done that work, and I have those 2 databases kind of sitting here now in a repo. I actually have them in my repo for my public website in this directory. And you can see here a little preview, a spoiler. I just pip installed scikit-learn. So here's another view of that location from the command line. So I can get to this location from the Linux command line. And that's the same as what we're looking at over here in Jupyter. So that's that same location. And so I just wrote this little notebook to just step through and to have the primary key and all that data ready for keyword clustering, because I just asked ChatGPT for different approaches. So first I wanted to cover my bases. There are several. Okay, so it was a big prompt. Say you have 500 blog posts and they're on a diversity of topics. What you want to do is read each of these blog posts and categorize them by topic. The topics are not pre-selected, but we want them to be inferred from the posts themselves so that you can use the data to go back and add multiple tags in one main category per post. So we can make tag and category pages. What are some possible approaches to doing this? And it gave me a few approaches. Of course, you can do it manually. That's not what I'm interested in. Then there's keyword extraction. You can use NLP techniques. And when I see this, I hear yake, yet another keyword extractor. Because sure, you can learn enough about the natural language toolkit and scikit-learn and everything and do it yourself, or you can pip install yake and just use yake and get a list of a keyword histogram. Essentially, it's for building keyword histograms of your content. But then there is this approach here. Now there's yet another. I don't even know if I'm going to get to talking about that on this video, but clustering, k-means. There's cool ways to do this, having to do with drawing lines that group them together. I guess linear regression. It's like a way of using linear regression techniques in order to create separate groups, something like that. But k-means clustering, and you get to say how many clusters, and it splits them up accordingly. So sometimes you try different number of clusters to zero in on what you really want. So I do believe that that's what it's leading me down here. And there's where the k-means stuff comes in. So there's a few steps of getting the data ready. They're assuming that your data is coming from a CSV and that you're going to be turning it into a data frame. But I'm going to sort of be building it from reading directly out of my blog, right? My blog is just sitting over here as one big text file, and I parse that thing, and actually, no, we're working out of the database because we're beyond the parsing, because the data we're going to be looking at resides in either summaries or descriptions. So when you have data like this and you're going to build a table out of it, very often they want it as a data frame. So I'll turn it into a data frame first by turning it into a table, and then turning that table into a data frame. And we look at what the instructions of what we're going to do with it are, so that we know how to shape that table. So they have a field name headline, a field name content, and a field name summary. That is, in fact, what I was saying to this, but I might just try it with headline and content. The headline is like the key, sort of, almost in this situation. Let me just think it through here. MLTK. I might ask for it again. Give me the example again, but I'm using a blog plug of the headline as the index. Let me think that through. The meta description as the text to extract keywords from for clustering. Matplotlib, vectorizing similarity matrix. Might even be a different approach, because I asked for like extracted keywords and stuff. But it's from scikit-learn that it's asking for stuff, which I had just sort of pip installed. So see these df headline emit, so I just bring it in as 2 columns and I can almost use this code directly. So I'm going to copy this code. I'm going to drop this code over here. And now I'm going to say, let's see, df read the blog posts. So key and data table, print key. We are going to table dot append key data. We're appending a tuple. Extra set of parentheses needed. Hide its output. B for a new cell below. Import pandas as PD, and PD dot, it's a df equals PD dot data frame table columns equal slug. I'll call it headline. Description. Alright, so I've got a df there, and I don't need this line. And set index to headline, that should match up to that. Df, I just use description, not meta description. And the rest of this should work. No module scikit-learn. So I just did one of them. Pip install scikit-learn. I did a hyphenated version of one of them. Oh yeah, I did scikit-learn. Scikit-learn. Requirement already satisfied. So I'm going silent, right? I mean, you see what I'm doing. I'm making sure the requirements are installed. And I thought I already installed these requirements, but clearly it's doing stuff. It wouldn't be doing that, although I did it with a -u, so it could be doing updates and stuff. That's possible. Which is still worth not paying OpenAI, right? It's still worth going down this road. Now, if this doesn't work out, because you can see there's two paths I'm exploring, like a Roomba. I back up, I turn a little, I try again. So this approach didn't have k-means mentioned in it. So there's different approaches to keyword clustering and grouping, and this one is more, I don't even know what those imports were that we're using here, but they're over here. Hierarchy, cluster hierarchy. That sounds, and from those you're getting dendrogram and linkage. I should really learn about these things. That would certainly help me. And I think that finished. Yeah, that was this one. So that's finished. And so that should now be available where once it was not. And so that worked, and now I can do this one. What will happen? I'm excited. It's going to show something. It's going to show a plot. Matplotlib is building the font cache. This may take a moment, but the asterisk is still there, and we're being promised something visual, so cool. I don't remember adding matplotlib back into the things that I activate on the drink me script, so I don't know how it has it from the latest build. It's probably from that flurry of things I just installed. And as I expand what I'm doing on an everyday basis, it's like as the Roomba pushes against the edge and discovers the boundaries of the room, that's the point at which I let things back from my edited out requirements.txt in. So while I'm waiting for this cache to build, I might as well go do that, because now I know the command that I used that got me what I needed on my system was scikit-learn, and I do believe I already put that back in the requirements.txt. Boy, okay. That would be... There it is. I put it back in, and I thought I put it back in there after I had actually done the manual installing of that. So, perhaps not. And things are taking... Oh, look at that. Look at that topic tree. I bet if I zoomed in on that stuff, there'd be data. Well, maybe not, but no wonder it took so long. This is where the text is. Oh my God, look at that. Yeah, not exactly useful. However, we're getting in the right directions. I bet if I had the keyword data clearly drawn out between these tree splits here, that'd be really interesting. But this is the progress I made just by asking the best way to do this. So there you go. I guess I'll pause it there for long enough for the YouTube thumbnail system to get a taste. And this is my first sort of branching into clustering from a fresh start, not ever, because I've do keyword clustering projects over and over through the years, and every few years the methodologies, the tooling changes, and I want to get the best tooling here to do, well, for my particular task of keywording and tagging and categorizing my blog posts so that I can build some topic pages out of them and group blog posts together sensibly. And make pages that expose those meta descriptions of topically grouped things so they belong together as a group. That makes a lot of sense to me. And then I can start blending in things I find from my YouTube videos into the right, individual blog post pages and the right category pages, and you get the idea. It's a good start. I call this a good start.